This is Danger Canadian Content Productions, live from Factory Gastropub on the Danforth. I'm the Moose, and today we're talking to Gary and Tom from Honeybeard.
Correct.
Gary or Gaz?
I'm Chris and Gary, but I go by Gaz.
Gaz, right, fair enough. So you two have been together. I did a bit of bio work. You've been together as a band since 2012, is that right? Yeah?
Yes.
Yeah, that's right. We first met, I first came over here to Canada in November 2011. That's actually 6 years now. And so just to make friends, I started playing Australian rules football.
Right.
And that was in February 2012. And that's where I met this guy.
Right, okay.
And then we just talked, and I was like, because I used to be in bands in Ireland, had to come over, needed a band.
Yeah.
Chatted in, and there we are.
Fantastic.
Yeah, we started off as an acoustic duo.
Yeah?
Yeah, playing folk music.
Well, it's quite funny because we didn't start the way that we are now, so we get that morphing into what works for you. The first time we saw you was a Soundtrack of the City in I think that was February last year in the old hideout.
Oh right, yeah.
Yeah, and that was I'll be honest, and that was quite an amazing experience for us. We shot you guys, and that just really sort of set the tone, I think, for just following on to seeing what you were doing. But then of course we got round to and I use the term, it's not even loosely, speed dating at the Garrison last week. That's how Indie Week sort of seemed. It was a bit like that. You know, I mean, you got a 30-minute slot to be able to get up, you know, to get up, deliver, yeah,
And get off.
And then get off,
Yeah.
right?
And
So
our stage setup isn't exactly speedy to set up.
no, and that's where you've got to you can't cut corners with that either. You've got to make sure that you're ready to go, because the other thing about Indie Week, which some of our watchers might not know, of course, is it's competition as well.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. So just in case there were any more pressure to throw in there, you've got a jury sitting at the back, invisible somewhere in the Garrison, marking and scoring.
Yes.
Across the board. Did you enjoy that? I mean, I suppose that's my real question. Did you enjoy? How?
The judging aspect of it?
Well, no, just Indie Week generally. I think that's the key.
We happened to really enjoy the Garrison show because the sound was probably the best stage sound we've had in quite a while, wouldn't you say?
Yeah, it was definitely. It was a great sound, robust sound. We could hear everything.
Yeah.
So, and for us, we don't have amplifiers and acoustic drums behind us, so it's all down to what we hear in the monitors back at us.
Right. Okay.
So if something's not working at the desk, we're working without sound.
Right. Okay.
So hearing it is always a good thing. So we had a good time that way, and we kind of just don't really think about the judging part. We just want to have a good show usually. And
so we've done it for 3 years now.
Right.
And we've consecutively marked last.
Did they tell you that?
Well, first time we got you can request the results. Right. So one year we apparently blinded a judge with a laser. Apparently our genre didn't fit the festival.
Right. Right, okay.
And then the second year, I actually physically got a glance at him because I jumped on the stage manager, and that was quite depressing. I can't remember exactly what it was, but and then this year we thought we nailed it.
I thought you were. I mean, I'll be honest. From where I was standing, it was an excellent set. I mean,
I appreciate that. We thought it was fun. We always have a good time.
It was a lot of fun. I guess I don't know. Maybe we need to get acoustic drums and change our genre to rock. Get long hair, wear bell-bottom jeans.
No, not necessarily. I went to the supermarket and saw Civil Ray the night after we saw you guys, I think. Maybe the night before. And Civil Ray's got a really soulful voice. She plays the violin. It's got a really, it's a really beautiful sound, and she won to go through. So, and then on Saturday in Hideout, Etno from Brazil.
Right.
Won the evening there.
Oh, cool.
They were really. I mean, they had a massive amount of energy. So I think
Indie Week's very good at getting great bands to come. We actually, it was the first sort of festival we played here in Toronto, and I have to say we love it. Like, we genuinely love it. The people who work on it are really, really good, and we've got to meet them. Like, they'll come out and talk to you, and we got a second show on the Friday as well,
right? Which
was nice because we kind of knew we wouldn't get through. Even before we did it. So we knew, let's get another one so we won't feel so bad. And we played it in the Paddock Tavern. It was an Irish showcase, and I guess me being Irish kind of linked us into that. And that was great. There was there were some amazing. The Clockworks were a young band from Ireland.
Right.
First time I saw them from Galway, and they were amazing. Now, you could look at them just your rock band, but they do it better. They do it more progressively, and they're so tight. That's a rock band that I would enjoy. But
Yeah.
they were really good.
And I can't remember the name. Who was the band right after us? They were quite good too, from Manchester.
Oh, I can't remember the name of them. But there was another band before us actually, who is from Ireland again, called Meet the Blue.
Right.
And he was quite good. So again, you're just surrounded by great bands, and it gets to up the sort of ante every time. And that's one thing that Inuit does really well.
It's one of the things I'd like to know more about, sort of what the criteria are for scoring. Because at the end of the day, you know, as you go through it, you know, I mean, we score bands all the time. Every band we see, we score. So we've seen 321 bands this year so far, right?
Yeah.
And every single one we've seen, we put a little score beside in terms of where we go. And we know what we think our criteria are, but I'm sort of fascinated by what it is and how you would differentiate between all those things. So, you know, it's perhaps it's something we'll do a little bit more work with Indie Week to find out.
That would be interesting. I mean, I kind of love and hate the judging aspect. I hate it because the judges hate us every time. You know, and I mean, like, it just drives me crazy, but only because, you know that I'm a crazy person, sorry. So I'm like, it's a good thing I didn't get to talk to them afterwards because I would have had words. But the better thing about it is that you are judged, and that's a different aspect. Like, compared to something that's very similar, like Canadian Music Week.
Yes.
You know, there is a judgment aspect of that, and so it's kind of interesting, and it brings that competitive element that everyone loves. So it's not quite a battle of bands, but it is a battle of the bands.
Yes. Yeah. No. I get that completely. And one of the things I was quite surprised about is merch. So then there's sometimes there's a merch opportunity, sometimes there's not. Now there's two of you on stage. You know, that's a different kind of thing. But you've got a apart from, let's see, I think your EP release was 1,000 Million Things.
Yes.
In 2015, and then Endless Sleep got released earlier on this year. Yeah.
On St. Patrick's Day.
Yes.
Was that it? Or was it St. Patrick's Day?
Dream of Sleep came out, and it was St. Patrick's Day because happened to be the Friday.
Right.
So our publicist preferred it at that time because then we could launch at a particular time.
Right.
And we were like avoiding the Junos, so we didn't have.
Yeah, so it just kind of worked out. It wasn't an Irish thing, but it happened to be.
But does the Indie Week then present what I'm trying to get to, I suppose, is does it present a merch opportunity for you guys as well at the same time?
I saw that other bands on the night were selling their stuff. In past years, we didn't. They never told us we couldn't.
Oh yeah, you can put your merch table.
Yeah.
We chose not to because you've very little time to set up and set out, and we're only two of us, right? So
well, and you know, the 30 minutes when I got to the Hideout Saturday night, for instance, that 30 minutes for the semi-finals got reduced to 20.
yeah, that's hard. But you just reduce your songs.
So you reduce your songs. You take another song or perhaps two off the list, and then you do 4 songs.
Yeah.
So basically, that's what the guys did. They did 4 songs and put it in from it.
Now the only complaint about the speed dating part that you said
Yeah.
is that, like, on the Saturday when we played the Paddock, our set time, because the band dropped out, got moved up by 30 minutes. And we had people come in as we were leaving the stage who would come to see us because our set time.
Yeah.
But, you know, I guess
Yeah,
that kind of
it
stuff
just
happens
happens.
with a lot of
It took a lot of pressure to set up, though. At least we did.
Yeah, no, that's fair. So, am I right in thinking that you're going to be recording again next year? Is that?
Yes.
Yeah.
We have an album and a half already.
Really?
Yeah.
So is that a track that were left over from the last one, or is that
No.
off the current one, or is that new stuff?
It's probably an album of new stuff and half an album of shite. That we're going to look back on. There was some good things and it just didn't make it over time. And I think we've got a plan for that half album of shite.
Right.
We're going to do it up again, and we might do something nice for the fans.
Nice. Okay.
Yeah.
That's good.
We've a lot of people, like, we're kind of new to electronic music. We started as a kind of a acoustic guitar and
alt folk
band, and then we decided, you know what, we can get a bigger sound if we use computers.
Yeah.
We're kind of figuring out how to write songs, like write electronic songs or whatever you want to call them.
Right.
Use those DAWs. We use Logic, for example, digital audio workstation. We're trying to figure it out.
So a lot of our early
That kind of
songs
stuff.
have good bones, but we just didn't know how to use the programs properly. And now
Yeah, I'll be honest. As a stumbling photographer in the great scheme of things, that sounds a bit like That's exactly like what we're going through.
So we're revisiting, as what I call shite,
That's absolutely,
to bring it out and to modernize it, because there's
Yeah.
some good hooks there and ideas.
Mm-hmm.
So it's almost like redoing it again, but we don't have to go through all the writing time.
Right, and then just in terms of audience, then the next trick, if you like, or the next part of that is to actually put it into is to get it out on the road. And you've got gigs coming up.
Yeah.
Okay, so you've got gigs coming up. And if I get these wrong, you yell at me. 18th of November at the Fog
In
in
Windsor.
Saturday,
Windsor, yeah.
Yep. Then into Ottawa for the House of Targ
Yes.
on December 2nd.
Looking forward to that.
And then Junction City Hall, which I think is where you launched your album.
was.
Yeah.
Going back there, third time.
You're back there on
Fourth
December,
time.
Is it the fourth time?
Yeah.
December 9th.
December 9th. So
Yeah.
there's a band called Hot Lips. They're an excellent band. They're from Toronto. They're kind of like
I know
electro
Hot Lips or
rock.
something.
Yeah. And they're releasing a video and some music on that night. So it's kind of like a double bill. So
Right.
And then we're going to take a little break because it just feels like we haven't stopped. And we're going to start working on that next album.
Right.
So we've got probably, I'd say, about 7 songs written that we think are eligible, and we've probably got another 3 or 4 months to put away to write another 7 and pick 10 out of that.
Right. Okay.
But it's looking different. Like we've got introduced more guitar into our songs.
Yeah.
So that's people who've commented when we played those at the first 2 songs. I think we played at the at Indie Week, and so people are like, "Wow, what is this? It's a different sound, you know." So
Yeah, yeah.
it's not that we meant to. We just introduced the guitar, so it's like so.
Well,
it's interesting.
evolution is everything with bands, you know. Well, with everything. I'll be honest in life.
Yeah.
You know, it's an important part in terms of, you know, so where you see yourself go next, but also in terms of taking the stuff that doesn't work necessarily today, and then, you know, if there's elements of that work, then take them out and rework them and put them through.
Yeah.
But you also ended up with an award. Am I right in thinking you got the Best Electronic Artist Award?
Oh, yeah,
at the
the-
Toronto Independent
The Toronto Independent Music Awards.
Yeah. So you know you said this is new to you, but here you are sitting with an award already. I don't know how big that award is, and whether there's lots of them on the shelf or it is a shelf.
No, it like we
There's a shelf of 1 right now.
still it's a, you know,
Shelf looking
well, it's
for
a shelf of 1, but it's good. I mean, like you can
is
say we're an award-winning.
award-winning. Yeah, absolutely right. Yeah.
But it's great. It's nice to be recognised, especially from the Toronto Independent Music Awards, because they kind of operate where it's unlike the Junos, for example, where there's a lot of heavyweights in there. It's kind of more sort of a microcosm of Toronto and what that can provide.
Right.
But it's not necessarily bent to Toronto. You can be an international artist too.
Right.
And it's expanded to such a degree, and it's well run, that they've got particular genres, and it has, you know, it's got it's got a level of standard to it because of who submits, and then you see who you're with, and then you check them out, and they're unbelievable. So we're kind of we're quite delighted to get that.
Yeah.
You know, because we were nominated before, and to win this year was kind of sweet.
Well, I think it's and that's those are the positives that you look for as well, aren't they? You know, at the end of the day, you know, you get that positive affirmation that you're doing the right thing, going in the right direction.
Yeah.
And that's absolutely critical, because we all need that. You know, it's not just you guys. We need that as well. You know, everybody needs that affirmation that makes things work.
That's definitely it, because you know, it's just the 2 of us, and we're traveling around and trying to do our best. Sometimes we feel like we're in a, I guess we're compared to some more popular genres that are more easily consumable, at least on the face of it.
Yeah.
So we might get stuck in there with a bunch of rock bands, and we come up and it's like, okay, we got to win these over. You know, don't get freaked out by the keyboards and the keytar and the lasers that are coming out.
Yeah.
I mean, we're not going to throw an EDM party or whatever. So it's like it's a bit of a battle. So it's nice when we get some affirmation and we get some awards and people say, hey, you're not doing too bad, guys.
Good. Well, talking of doing too bad, we're going to move swiftly into the speed round of doom.
Right.
You get an answer each. Anything you want to say in this is fine. They're going to be pretty quick though. Yeah.
All right.
Okay. So, penguins or scorpions?
Penguins.
I think I would have to go penguins as well.
You going penguins?
Yeah.
Fair enough. Maple syrup, overpriced or overrated?
Neither.
Overpriced.
Overpriced and neither.
Overpriced.
So the most important ingredients in cooking is maple syrup.
Okay, fair enough. A lot of ours goes into beer, but never mind. If you had a pizza, which one would most clearly describe your personality? If you've got a personality pizza,
Oh.
What's that going to look like?
I order customized pizzas because I've got so many issues with
The stomach. I would say Hawaiian.
Why? Okay, fair enough.
there is no pizza.
There is no pizza. Excellent. Okay, no pizza. No pizza is good. There's a space program going to Mars. Apparently, it's only going one way. Now, which of the following celebrities would you choose to put on this? They may not come back. They might, but it's unlikely. Would it be? This is going to sound really bad, actually, for you guys. So, Van Morrison,
Yes.
Johnny Rotten, Kanye West, Bob Dylan, or Sting. If you had to pick one of
Just
those.
one?
Yeah, sorry, just one. Yeah, you can put more on if you want. I don't care.
Well, Kanye West for me.
Kanye West.
Yeah,
I would
see
say
ya.
the same.
Kenya's going.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm not going to ask. He's going to take the rest of the family with him as well. Okay. In a fight, who'd win? A silverback gorilla or 100 midgets with knives?
I'm gonna go the.
How big are the knives?
I'm gonna go the gorilla.
Midget size.
Midget-sized knives. Yeah.
Oh, I think the gorilla will probably just he'll win.
Yep. Okay.
Gorilla, yeah.
Fair enough. Fair enough. Okay. How would you describe yourself or each other? This is where you might get a little bit. So there's going to be high maintenance, low maintenance, or high maintenance but think you're low maintenance.
Low maintenance.
Gary's high maintenance, and he knows he's high maintenance.
Fair enough. Okay. All right then. And the final one we're going to put in here today is which vegetable would best describe Toronto?
That's a tough one.
For some reason, all I'm thinking about is turnip.
Turnip. Turnip is good. Turnip is good.
Turnip.
Turnip's good.
I'll say carrot.
Why would you say carrot?
CN Tower, kind of.
That's where I was getting turnip as well. To be perfectly honest.
You put a lot of thought into that.
You put no thought into yours, I
I
guess.
just turnip.
No, turnip's good.
I like turnips.
Starts with a
Yeah,
T.
yeah. And with that, that brings us to a close. So first of all, thank you very much indeed to
Thanks
Tom
for having us.
for tolerating us. Details of Honeybed will be in the credits as I go through. Thanks to George and Factory Girl for putting up with us for yet another interview. Full day's episode of Factory Girl will be in our link. Thanks again to Yeston and Angelo for filming. Subscribe to the YouTube links. Details of the DCC site will be in there too. Until next time, thank you. Good night.